but we're not worn off to the energy of this body or the ability of this body. And in verse 4 it says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Now, if we were to believe some doctrines in the world today, I wonder what we need weapons for. But we do need weapons. Not to win a war that has already been won, but to receive every blessing and promise that's in that Jesus won at Calvary. Jesus suffered once and for all. The final sacrifice has been made. But we need the weapons of this warfare, and it says they're not carnal, but they're mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. The biggest hindrance to people today is strongholds in the mind. We have experienced it as we minister to people that have got life-threatening diseases. But my father took it and he died. Or somebody else in the family took it and they died, because man says that this is inherited. Every disease known to man is inherited. And it's inherited from the fall in the Garden of Eden. But Jesus come to seek and to save that which was lost. And that health that was lost in the Garden of Eden, Jesus suffered and died that we would be healed because of that final sacrifice. I was raised from the dead in August 1980 because of the finished work of Jesus Christ on the cross. Most of the people in this room today have got a testimony how they were healed. And they weren't healed by their own strength. They were healed because of the finished work of the cross. And our weapons are not carnal, but they're mighty, first of all, through God. We have authority through God. And our weapons are mighty through God. Not through a doctor, not through a particular man or a setup or anything else, but they're mighty through God. And they're mighty for one reason here mentioned in this one, is to the pulling down of strongholds. Bob and myself were ministering to a man with cancer a few weeks ago. And they had him lined up for 12 weeks of chemo. And the stronghold in that mind was picked up from a so-called gospel preacher on television that said that God doesn't heal everybody. That is a lie from the pit of hell. Because the scripture says that by his stripes we are healed. And the epistle of Peter, whenever he's writing about it, he's looking back to Calvary, and he said, by his stripes we were healed. And God's no respecter of persons. Yes, there's a question, why does everybody not receive their healing? But that's a totally different question. But the wrong question had been asked. Because God is no respecter of persons. What God will do for one, he wants to do for all.